Welcome to another Dow Jones and NASDAQ update. I'm going to do them both in the same video just to condense it into one video instead of two. So basically, my view here is still the same, still bearish on the Dow. Now, the count has changed a bit, just seeing a bit of waves. The waves that have unfolded have just basically made me just change the wave count a bit. So what I'm seeing in the Dow is a little bit different than the NASDAQ in terms of how this is going to start off. From what I see here, we have a 1-2 and then followed by another 1-2, right? So this is, for a move that's still unfolding, this appears to be right. And the main reason being is because this cannot be anything else, right? This cannot be like, for example, a 3-3-5-3, because that can't be considered a wave D, right? And then that cannot be considered a wave E, right? That's why I believe AriasWave is a very effective tool for determining the waves, because they tell you what something isn't, right? Now, this, in my opinion, isn't just another correction for another move up. This is subdividing into 1-2s. So in order to confirm this, we need to break this low. Now, yes, it's a slightly different count, but the waves are unfolding. Like I said, I'm shorting from the top until I get confirmation that we are seeing a move to the downside that's going to continue. Now we have more of the correction visible. So therefore, I'm making this assumption based on the process of elimination. Okay. So A, B, C, D, E. Right now, if we're going to use anything for the E wave, we could use the RSI to see the strength of this thing. Is it losing strength? It is losing strength. It may not be the top. Okay, I've got the red line there for a stop. When we get down and we break the lows, you may have to move the stop wherever that little extra wave may go, right? Now, I'm not trying to pick the top on that thing. I'm just giving you a guide as to sort of, what I'd do if I got into this move at this point. Or even if you want to move your stop down from the highs, we'd have to see a break of this low. Okay. So obviously we'd have to see the move happen in a fairly sharp way. If it's going to be a third of a third wave, there really isn't to be this choppiness continuing, right? We can't have the choppiness continuing. It just won't make much sense, but we'll keep an eye on it anyway. But the most important thing here is that I don't see this being anything apart from that, right? So if I saw that perhaps this was like, a correction that was going to complete and then move along, then that the view could be taken. Now, if I was to play devil's advocate and say that, yes, this was just another correction for another move up, okay, let me see. So I would likely take this path. 3. So I'll just change the color of this thing. 3, 3, 5, 3. That looks like an odd 3, and then 5. See, automatically there's two waves that don't make sense. Okay, the 3 and the 5. So to me, this can't be that. You're basically just trying to make something out of nothing. So I can't take this view. Therefore, I'm sticking to the original view, right? So that's how I make my decision on that one. Just that the wave count has changed. So what is this E wave doing? It seems to be coming back to retest that other trend line that I mentioned, which is just the longer term trend line. Well, not really longer term. It's just from the using different points on the chart, right? Using the start of the move to wave E, and then so that's what it appears like it's come back to test in this situation, right? And you can see that it's reacting to it. And yeah, so if anything, to me, wave E's are sort of like fake out waves, people who are buying the dip, but also you can see that it's, it's just basically interacting with these levels anyway. So obviously we'll keep an eye on that as it progresses. Over to the NASDAQ, and it's slightly different, right? I still can't make anything else out of this, right? Now I consider this a wave one, right? In this particular scenario, I think I mentioned before that it looks like, like the first little move up here was a zigzag, even though it's so little. I don't like using little waves, but well, that's what we saw at the top. However you want to count this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we've got some zigzags going on there. So for now, that still remains the same, simply because I can't count 3 waves up. And if I had to count this 3 wave up, I'd have to see a 5 wave move here. So I'm not seeing it. I'm just seeing a 5 wave move, 3, 3, 5, and then 3, 5. So the previous entry idea wasn't up to scratch, I will admit. But I hadn't, we didn't see that other wave come down, and this sort of wasn't. It was kind of like how can I say it? A weak 5 wave move in the C wave of this zigzag. So I suppose that's sort of can throw you off a little bit at times. But as I said, coming back to retest, same thing appears to be happening here. Now, retesting doesn't mean that it doesn't go through the line, right? As you can see, retesting can go above and then dip back down, right? And in this particular one, the 5 wave move is already losing strength on the small time frame there. So I suppose you just have to keep an eye out. If this stop has to be moved a little bit higher, remember, you only get in when you break the lows. Right, I can't guarantee that this is not going to go above the previous high, although I don't think it's likely, just due to how these things move. So once again, keeping an eye on that one. This one doesn't have the 1, 2, 1, 2 scenario going like the Dow Jones. Instead, it's just in my opinion, just a straight 1, 2. Now, to play a little bit more of devil's advocate here, I just want to go to the larger time frame and just have a look at the larger pattern and think, if this was going to be anything else, what would it be? Well, if I had to think, maybe this was an unfolding zigzag, right? Then I suppose, we'd have to see another one of these large moves down. And if we did see one of those, right, then from these particular levels, we'd be making this kind of move, which, to be honest with you, it would break the wave 2 low, right? And in doing that, it kind of is invalidating a move up, because typically after this kind of 5 wave move up, if you're getting a correction, it typically won't go below the wave 2 low. But at the same time, we've already basically created the length of wave A, the wave A from the March lows last year. So when I say that, I'll just I'll just remind you again, this wave right here, the wave A in brackets, we've already basically seen that length reached already. So my opinion is that this D wave is complete, which is the whole reason why I'm bearish on this thing. Right, I've already gone through a lot of other explanations on this one. So I suppose now we just have to wait and see if this thing just comes back down and continues lower. So yeah, it did drop at the open and then come back, but as you can see, it's pretty choppy, right? It did go up 1%, which, you know, I suppose is fair enough. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to just wait and see on this one. The pattern looks right to me, so what can I say? A break of the lows, and the stop would be at the last high. Whether or not that's here or a bit higher, it stands to be seen. Okay, so that's my update for now. I'm ignoring all news on anything that's going on, you know, with certain stocks that are being played around with. I don't take that into consideration. This is a large pattern that we're dealing with, and so far it's creating all the waves that indicate a top. So if anything changes, I'll let you know, but in my opinion, that's what it is still. So hopefully you found this interesting and informative. Thank you for watching.